Along the banks of the Euphrates, a modest town began to rise, Babylon. With clay and sun, the Babylonians built a city that would outlast empires. Trade made Babylon a hub, its markets filled with grain dates and silver. Temples rose, and with them the god Marduk grew to dominate Babylon's sky. They inherited the script of Sumer cuneiform tools to record their laws and dreams. At the crossroads of empires, Babylon became the meeting place of worlds. In 1894 BCE, King Sumuabum claimed Babylon as his throne. Its first dynasty was born. From a humble town, Babylon began to grow its destiny, written in clay and stone. After the age of Sumer and Akkad, Mesopotamia fractured into rival city-states. Among these towns was Babylon, still small and unknown. In 1894 BCE, King Sumuabum declared Babylon his capital. Babylon fortified itself, guarding its people and trade. Between Tigris and Euphrates, Babylon thrived on fertile waters. Babylon's markets grew lively, linking distant lands by trade. As temples rose, Marduk became the city's divine protector. They preserved knowledge through cuneiform, writing Babylon's memory into clay. Engineering turned deserts green, expanding Babylon's reach. The square became the stage of royal decrees and public life. Strong walls protected Babylon from rivals across the plain. Babylon stood at the center of Mesopotamia's highways of commerce. Here, cultures mixed, traders, priests, and travelers, shaping Babylon's character. Generations were born in Babylon, their laughter echoing through its streets. From a village, Babylon grew its streets and canals, stretching wider each year. Though still modest, Babylon's destiny was clear. Greatness lay ahead. In 1792 BCE, Hammurabi ascended Babylon's throne. Mesopotamia was divided among rival city-states. Hammurabi expanded through war and alliances alike. City by city, he brought Mesopotamia under Babylon's power. Where war could not reach, Hammurabi forged alliances. For the first time, Babylon became master of Mesopotamia. Babylon celebrated its king as bringer of order and strength. He carved his laws upon stone for all to see. 280. Two laws clear, enduring and absolute. The code declared an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Carved in stone, Hammurabi received laws from the sun god Shamash. Religion gave divine weight to the king's justice. It brought order to trade and daily life. Hammurabi's laws claimed to protect the weak from the strong. For the first time, Babylon ruled from river to river. Copies spread across the empire, fixing justice in every town. His rule stood firm, backed by law and might. For a time, justice kept order in Babylon's streets. Centuries later, echoes of Hammurabi shaped Roman law. Jewish tradition, too, bore the mark of Babylonian law. Even Islamic law carried echoes of Babylon's code. The principle of written justice outlived empires. Hammurabi's reign forged Babylon's first empire. Today, his image endures, symbol of the world's first great lawgiver. Babylon spoke in Akkadian, carved forever in wedges of clay. Libraries grew filled with records of trade, law, and myth. They mastered numbers, inventing the base 60 system we still use today. From their towers, Babylonian astronomers measured the heavens. They built calendars dividing months by the cycles of moon and Sunday. Here they preserved the Epic of Gilgamesh, the world's oldest great story. Their stories of heroes and gods echoed through palace halls. Babylon worshipped many gods, each temple a doorway to the divine. Over time, Marduk rose as Babylon's supreme deity. Festivals filled the processional way, uniting gods and people. Music and ritual joined, lifting prayers skyward. Every transaction, every prayer, every story, they wrote them all. Scholars argued fiercely, chasing wisdom in numbers and stars. Their charts mapped constellations, predicting eclipses with precision. High above the city libraries guarded knowledge of gods and men. Offerings of bread and fruit fed the gods who fed the city. Generation after generation, knowledge was passed from hand to hand. Babylon became the city of gods, and wisdom shining across the ancient world. Every fired tablet turned words into eternal stone. In splendor of language, law, science, and faith, Babylon stood unrivaled. With Assyria fallen, a new power rose Babylon. In 626 BCE, Nabopolassar founded the Neo-Babylonian Empire. His son Nebuchadnezzar II would bring Babylon to glory. Under his command, Babylon's armies swept across the Near East. In 586 BCE, he captured Jerusalem and sent its people into exile. The exile of the Hebrews became legend, the Babylonian Captivity. Nebuchadnezzar built wonders, the Ishtar Gate of blue and gold. The Processional Way stretched grand, lined with lions in relief. Legends spoke of the Hanging Gardens, one of the 7 wonders. In his palace, Nebuchadnezzar ruled as the King of Kings. Festivals displayed Babylon's wealth to gods and people alike. Its walls rose so vast, they became the envy of the world. Babylon became the wealthiest market of the ancient Near East. Its canals turned the city into a living masterpiece of water and stone. Scholars of Babylon measured stars and wrote knowledge into clay. Nearly 200,000 souls filled its streets, the largest city on earth. At its heart towered the ziggurat of Marduk, the city's divine mountain. Envoys from distant lands came to honor the empire's might. Feasts displayed wealth beyond imagining, tables heavy with meat and wine. Nebuchadnezzar ruled at the height of Babylonian splendor. Ingenious waterworks were said to raise rivers into the sky. Babylon, the jewel of the world, eclipsed all other cities. This was Babylon's golden age, city of wonders, unmatched in all the world. After Nebuchadnezzar's death, Babylon's strength waned. His successors proved unworthy rulers of weakness and fear. Corruption spread, merchants cheated, and trust dissolved. Riots shook the city, tearing neighbor against neighbor. Even temples suffered neglect, their gods abandoned. Harvests failed and famine tightened its grip. Provinces rose in revolt, defying Babylon's weakening grip. King Nabonidus turned to strange gods, abandoning his people. Even the army lost faith, their blades rusting, their morale gone. Trade dwindled, and once busy roads grew silent. The greatest city began to feel hollow, echoing with silence. On the horizon, a new empire advanced, the Persians. Cyrus was no ordinary conqueror. He came with strategy and patience. He diverted the Euphrates, lowering its waters to open a path. Through the shallow waters, his army slipped inside the city. Babylon's defenses were blind to the river's betrayal. Without battle, the Persians entered the mighty city. Panic rippled through Babylon's people as foreign boots filled their streets. King Nabonidus abandoned his throne, fleeing in disgrace. Cyrus entered Babylon not as destroyer, but as liberator. Many Babylonians welcomed him, weary of failed kings. The city bowed its independence, gone forever. Babylon's reign ended. It became a province of the Persian Empire. Hammurabi's Code became the foundation of written law. It set the principle that justice must be written and known. From Babylon came 60-based numbers, shaping hours, minutes, and seconds. Their astronomy laid the foundations of science and calendars. The Babylonian Captivity reshaped Jewish faith and scripture. Stories carried from Babylon found their way into the Old Testament. Its tower inspired the biblical story of the Tower of Babel. Later, Babylon became a symbol of sin and decadence. Artists for centuries evoked Babylon as grandeur lost. The Ishtar Gate still stands preserved in Berlin's museum. Its lions of blue and gold roar across the centuries. The ruins of Babylon today are a UNESCO World Heritage Site. On clay tablets, their wisdom still whispers across millennia. Our science still builds upon Babylon's stars and numbers. In faith and scripture, Babylon endures as warning and symbol. From law to legend, Babylon's shadow still shapes our world. From a modest town by the river, Babylon was born. Under Hammurabi, Babylon became an empire of laws. It became the city of gods, wisdom, and enduring knowledge. Under Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon shone as the jewel of the world. Yet even the mightiest city can fall as Babylon did to Persia. Babylon may have fallen to dust, but its spirit endures. In law, in science, in legend, Babylon still speaks to us. Join us to uncover more civilizations, each with stories waiting to be told.